Welcome to Jodala Fashion Guide. In today's video, we are going to be making a bustier top with yoke and round back waistline for this skirt. This pencil skirt, knee-length pencil skirt that we made sometime last week. If you have not watched the video, you can watch my video on how I made this skirt. It has inseam finishing. Inseam finishing. So today we are going to be making a blouse for it. This is for the main body of the blouse, and we'll be using the Akara fabric to create sleeves and also to create designs, straight line designs on the main fabric. We'll be using this as our lining, and then we'll be putting this ready-made, this cup that I made, inside the bustier. So if you have not seen my video on how to make bra cups with wadding, you can also watch that on my channel. So let's get right into the video. I have some lines drawn out. First of all, we are going to draft the pattern. Okay, so this is my starting line, and then I've gone ahead to mark out the horizontal lines. So I have shoulder to my bust point 11.5, shoulder to the under bust 15.5, and shoulder to the waist 18.5, high waist, and then the low waist is 21 because I want the top to cover my tummy, 21. And then I've added extra 3 inches to create the basque effect. So first of all, I'm just going to label the lines that we have. So this is the starting line, the shoulder line, and then this is the bust line, this is the under bust, this is the waistline. I'll just say waist 1, then this is the waist 2. Okay, so we'll be placing our measurement on waist 2, and then this is the back line. So this pattern, I'm going to be adding my allowances because I'll be drafting on fabric. So the shoulder measurements, I'll just tell you the measurements I'll be working with. I'll be working with a shoulder of 16, a bust of 40, a bust span of 8, on fold is 4, an armhole depth of 8.2 inches, an under bust of 33, waist 35. That is what we are working with. So on this shoulder line, I'm going to be marking the shoulder divided by 2, and I'll go ahead to add ½ inch to that. Shoulder is 16 divided by 2 is 8 plus ½ inch, so I'm going to be having 8.5. so on this shoulder line I'll mark 8.5. This blouse is going to be having a yoke, so I want the neck measurement to be 3.5, or let me say 4, though we are going to be using a V neckline. So let me use 3.5. I'll use 3.5. we are having a V neckline for our yoke, and then the front neckline I want it to be 7 inches deep. 7 inches deep, while the back will be 8. So the front is 7 inches deep. And then on the shoulder, we are coming down with 1 inch on the shoulder slope. Also, I'll also take the armhole depth, which is 8.16. So I'll just mark 8.1. Okay, so we just, this is the shoulder slants, and then this is the neckline. Is a V neckline, so I'll just mark from here. Just create my V, and then I connect this line, the armhole depth. So on this where I have the armhole depth, I'm going to take my round bust measurement divided by 4, which is 10, so that I can get the armhole length. 10. Then I'll also go ahead to mark. I've marked this already, so just connect that. Make sure that your lines are correct. So this becomes the chest line. So on the armhole depth, I'll just take the midpoint and then I'm coming in by ½ inch to get the front armhole length. So with my French curve, I'll place this at the beginning, make it pass through the midpoint and end here. So that is I'll just use the marker to trace out what we have so far. So far we have the shoulder slants, we have the neckline, and then we have the armhole length, and of course the chest line. This is our chest line. So let me just highlight the waistline, the under bust line, so the next thing is to impute our darts, which is the half of the bust span. The bust span is 8. Half of that is 4 plus 4-inch allowance. So I'll mark at 4.5. I'll mark it at the chest line, at the bust line, all the way down. All the way down to the length of the blouse, to the full length of the blouse, and then I connect that with a straight line. On the under bust, I'm going to be taking 1 inch on both sides. Okay, I'll repeat same for the waistline. So I'll just connect that with a straight line, connect the underbust to the waistline, to the first waist, and then from there I'll connect in a V form to the blouse length. And then on this bust line I'll come down by 1 inch. You can do half. Then using my French curve, I'll create the curve from the underbust so towards the bust point. I'll repeat same for this side. At this chest line, I'll take a dart of 1 inch on both sides. The same thing that I did here. So this is according to my bust of 40. So you work according to your bust size. So for some, you can take ½ inch is a small bust. If it's a big bust, you can go ahead. You can take 1 inch on this side, and then take 1½ inch towards the armhole area. So I'm going to use this bust point. For it to be free, I'll also go up by 1 inch and then create the curve. I'm just trying to get the best point. So just blend it in. So for this upper side, you can actually go up by ½ inch, so that it will be easy for you to blend. Enjoy using marker to create. So place your French curve such that you can blend it into this line, into this middle line. Okay, I'll repeat same. Just blend it in. So you have a nice cup there. We are going to be cutting out this part. So to avoid any shortage around this bust area, I'm going to be replacing this dart. This dart is 2 inches. So I'll be replacing that on this armhole line so that we do not have any shortage this way. Okay, so 2 inches. I'll add it back here. So the next thing is to impute the horizontal measurement. Bust 40 divided by 4 is 10. The underbust is 33 divided by 4 is 8.25. We replace this dart, 2 inches dart, and then the waistline is 8.75. these 2 inches darts. Okay, so whatever I have here, I'll just repeat it on this hemline. .75 plus 2 inches. Okay, here is 8.75 and here is the 2 inches. So from there I have 10.75. So you just connect. So you can just continue with this slant like this. So we'll be adding allowances to this side. When we are cutting on our fabric, we'll add 1.5 inch seam allowance. I'm going to adjust the bust line area a little bit. I want my bust to be covered. Right now I have a neck depth of 7 inches, but for the yoke I do not want any fabric to be at the midpoint, so I'll just go up on this chest line by 1 inch so that I can have a neck depth of 8 inches. 8 inches will be my new neck depth. This is now the chest line. This is now my chest line. So this line I already have, you just extend it up, so it will start from here instead. And then this midline, I'll also extend it up to meet the new chest line. So this is now the new chest line. And then I'll retake the darts, the 1 inch on both sides at this new line. So I'm going to reconnect this cup so that it can cover very well. I don't want my boobs to be exposed. So we'll no longer be working with this. So this is where the cup is going to start from here, like this. So we'll be cutting here out instead. So this is now the new chest line. This line is now my new chest line. So just to be sure that our measurement is correct, I'll just take the bust divided by 4 is here, 4 inches, plus this 2 inches that. So here is correct. So for this bust area still remains 10 inches. So connect here to here. Okay, and then the under bust still remains 8.25, and then the 2 inches. and then the waistline 8.75, the 2 inches. From there we just connect it straight down like so. So when I transfer this to fabric, it's only the side I'm going to be adding the allowance. So before we end this pattern, this is our basque line effect. Our basque line is going to start from here and it's going to end on this second waistline. That was how I drew this other line so that we'll know where it's going to stop. Normally my shoulder to waist is 18.5. okay, so I came down from there by 2.5 inches so that the side, my side, can cover very well. Okay, so I came down there from using 2.5 inches, and then to have the basque effect from that second waistline I came down by 3 inches. So with my French curve, we want the curvy kind of basque, so I'll just connect from here with a curve from here to here. I'll just try to position my French curve such that it can have that effect. It's going to be a round effect. Okay, so that's what you're going to have. You just come down by 0.25. Trying to get the perfect curve for it. You start from here. Use the curve. So we don't need this side anymore. So I'll just cut out this pattern now to see what we have. And don't forget, on this shoulder line I'll put in my allowance, the 0.5 inch shoulder allowance, so that it doesn't reduce my armhole. If you don't put your shoulder allowance, your armhole length will be reduced. Always put your shoulder allowance. If you don't put your shoulder allowance after cutting, it means your sewing is going to start from here, and that will reduce. It will reduce the armhole length. It will reduce it. So in order not to have any shortage, the armhole length is 10 inches like this. This is where we have 10 inches. So we are going to cut from this basque effect. Don't forget, we have not put we've not added our allowance yet. So let me remark this, the new neckline, the V neckline will not be here. It will rest on the bust area. There will not be any fabric in between. It will just rest on it. so this is the yoke. The yoke is here. You can use pins to hold your paper so it doesn't keep shifting. So this armhole, you're supposed to redraw the armhole. Okay, so our new armhole will now be. So don't make this mistake. Ensure you recurve your armhole before you start cutting out your pattern. Okay, so the armhole is no longer here because of this dart, because of these 2 inches dart, these 2 inches. So the armhole has shifted from here to here. So don't make this mistake. Always make sure to recurve your armhole before you cut. So the armhole should be from here. Okay, so don't make that mistake. That is why I have to add masking tape so that we can get a correct measure, correct drafting. If your drafting is right, then your pattern is right, your sewing will also be right. So I can now go ahead and cut out this dart so that we'll see what is left. And don't forget, at this side we are adding 0.5 inch seam allowance on only the side and also this down part. So make sure to blend here very well as one complete piece. So this is what we have for the front pattern. This is the middle. This is the side. You see, here is curvy. This is for the side. So you can still reshape here to make it curvy. Okay, that will be on the fabric. After cutting out the pattern, I will reshape it. So this is the front. And then this is how the yoke will be resting on it. the yoke will be resting on it like this. Like this. So I'm going to be using this for the back pattern. I've ruled out the shoulder line. This is the shoulder line. This is the shoulder line, and on the shoulder line I've taken the neck width, which is 3.5. Mind you, I also use the same 8.5. The shoulder divided by 2 plus ½ inch, and then I came down by 1 inch to get the shoulder slope. So here is the shoulder slope, shoulder slants, and then I mark the armhole depth. This is the armhole depth. Okay. The next thing is to get the midpoint of the armhole depth. That is the midpoint. And then on this line, I've marked the bust circumference divided by 4 so that I can get the armhole length. So this is the chest line. So with my French curve, I'll mark the back armhole. This is the back armhole. And don't forget, we are still going to put in our allowance on top, ½ inch. Always add it to your pattern. And then I have my vertical lines marked out already. This is the bust line from the shoulder to the bust point was 11.5. There is no under bust for the back. I just go ahead to mark the back length. The back length is 16.5. Okay, so I came down also by 2.5, and then the back's effect, we also have it at the back at 3 inches. So this is the chest line, and then this is the waistline. This is the this is the bust line, this is the chest, this is the bust, and then this is our waistline. Okay, so for it to correspond with the other one, so we have it, we'll use the other one to also mark it to make sure that both sides are equal. And then this is the back line. We also want you can decide to have your waist straight at the back, or you can decide to also make the back curvy. So since mine is going to be on top of a skirt, I want it to be curvy at the back. So I'll just put in my dart. My dart is 4.5. I'll mark that on the bust line. I'll also mark it on the chest line, on the waistline as well. Just mark it all the way down. Then with the ruler, I'll connect that together. So on this waistline, I'll take a dart of ½ inch on both sides. ½ inch on both sides. And then I'll form it like a triangle to meet this chest line. That is just all for the back dart. Then I also form like a triangle towards this, towards the down part. So for the neck, I also used a V-neck, but this time around the V-neck will be deeper. So So I'll just use this chest line to connect the V. Like so. Bust divided by 4, 10. Use small dart here. You add it back. Then the waist that we work with was 8.75. 8.75. And then this dart will replace it. Okay, so we are coming from here like this. We are not taking any dart at this top part, so you can go ahead and add your seam allowance. So let me just extend this up like this, and then we don't really need this side, but we can just extend it down. This bust line, I've extended it to meet up with the chest line. Okay, so this front pattern, I can now place it on it like this. And just draw out the backs from there. Or you can simply use a French curve. Sorry, from here. So you can just use your French curve to do that. From here. Like so. So that is all for the back pattern. So I'm going to cut it out. We add seam allowance when we are cutting on fabric. We also add seam allowance here. So here is the center back, side back. Here is center front. Sorry, side front. And here is center front. Label your pattern. The here is back yoke. Maybe don't mix them together. Back yoke, and here is front yoke. Front yoke, and this is the other side. So I'm naming F2. Front yoke 2. So always label your pattern so that you don't mix them up. So the back yoke has the armhole, has the complete armhole. So this one I didn't just bother folding the paper into two so that but I'll fold my fabric into two when I'm cutting. When you are cutting your pattern on paper, you don't necessarily need to fold into two to conserve your paper. So this is the center back. There are going to be two pieces, and this is the front. And then this is the yoke. So one more thing for this front pattern. We want this the side front should correspond with the center front at the side. Okay, so to achieve to get that, the difference between the front and the back, you take it as a dart on this bust line. The difference is 2 inches. So on this bust line, mark 2 inches, and then you take it towards this bust area, leaving 1 inch gap. So this is the bust dart. So there are two ways. It is either you take the bust dart like this, or you make the back length to be the same, to be long, the two sides to be long, and then you now reduce from the center back. You now take your 2 inches and now slant it towards the side. Okay, so those are the two ways you can do it. It is either you make these two to be the same length and then take your 2 inches. That means this side will also be 18. You now take the 2 inches from this side and slant it towards the side. So if you do not want to do it like that, then you can take the bust dart like this, so that it will now make the two sides to be equal. So that by the time we cut it, like this, and close it up. Cut and close it up with a masking tape. So the two sides, you see that the two sides will not correspond. The two sides will now correspond with each other. So on fabric, when you place your fabric, you just, when you want to cut, make sure that you cover this side up. So the next thing is to cut out the pattern. This is how you are going to place it. I'm going to cut out the center front first. I'll add 1/2 inch allowance at the top and also at this down part. 1/2 inch allowance at the top and 1/2 inch allowance at the down. I will not be adding here because I already added 1/2 inch to this side. So this is for the center front. For the side front, I've added 1/2 inch to this side, and I've added 1.5 to the side. Okay, if there are excesses after sewing, you can always trim it off. At this side, I will not be adding any allowance. So this is for the front, the side, and then the center. The points where you are going to be joining, you can notch those points. Okay, the joining points at the middle here, you can notch it. Let me mark it with chalk first. Notch this point, notch this point. The joining points, you can just notch it. You do same for the other side. Notch the point. So we are going to cut out the back piece. I've added the zipper allowance. It's going to have a zipper. I've added zipper allowance here, 1/2 inch on top, 1/2 inch down. I will not be adding any more by the side here. If your fabric is very close, if the front and back is very close, mark the back side with chalk so that you don't mess it up. And then we cut this zipper line open. So go ahead and cut the front part, the side back. So the down part here, I've added 0.5 inch. I will not be adding any one here, but I'll add 1.5 inch seam allowance here. Or sewing allowance. Any allowance you don't need, when you're after sewing, you can always trim it off. So I'll go ahead and cut. The next thing is for us to cut the yoke. So next is to cut the front yoke. We'll add 1/2 inch here. We'll not be adding any one here. We'll have 1/2 inch here. We'll not be adding any one because we've already added. make sure that it is 1/2 inch. Add about 0.25 here. So I'll leave the pin on it, the paper on it like this, the pattern. Then I'll cut. We're going to, so we finished cutting all our patterns. I've gone ahead to cut the lining. So this is for the center front. So this is the made fabric we are using. This is the lining for the center front, and then this is for the side front. This is the made fabric and this is the lining. We just cut the lining the same way we cut the made fabric. And then this is the yoke. We are using this as the made fabric for the yoke. And then this is the lining. We want the lining to correspond. Then this is the back. This is the center back. And this is the lining. Sorry, side back. And then this is the center back. This is the made fabric and this is the lining. And this is the back yoke. I'm using this fabric to cut the yoke as well. This is the line. So our next video will be the sewing video. In that video also we'll be showing you what we are using as a strip. We are going to be using this fabric. We'll be cutting it out, then fold it like this, and then sew along the front bodice. We are also going to be using this to create the sleeve. We are going to be using this to create the sleeve. Okay, in our sewing video I will show you the sleeve. So we have come to the end of these tutorials. So this tutorial is just for the drafting and the cutting. Our next video will be the sewing video. I hope you find this video helpful. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and also tell me what you think about this video. If you have not yet subscribed to this video, this is just the right time. You don't want to miss the sewing video, just click on the subscribe button so that you'll be notified when I post the sewing video. See you again next time. I remain G Joy.